Hey there, it's Powercuties, and we're going to be doing another Path of Champions podcast today. We have been a while since we've done our last podcast. I do apologize about that. I think it's been about 3 months since our last one. Um, yeah, it's been a bit. It's been a bit tough with Cacti being very busy. I was been a bit busy as well, but we'll try our best to do these monthly. We have today a very special guest, a friend of Powercuties and the community, and honestly, the entire Legends of Runeterra community at large. Someone that's done a lot of work for the community in many different ways. Our good friend, Captain Sarah Red. And you can always check her out. Uh, she's got stuff on Twitter. She plays Path as well as PvP on Twitch as well. She's got a lot of other social medias that you can catch her on, and she's going to join us today to go over a recent video that Brian did today to announce some stuff coming out next week. So thank you so much for being here today, Sarah.
No problem.
I forgot to mention, so she's using the TTS. I swear to God, it's not just me on the TTS. There is a real person behind that TTS, and she is a wonderful person. Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So today there was some really cool announcements. Actually, a lot of information that was dumped on us, and a lot of this stuff is coming out really soon. So May 22nd, 1 week from today, there's going to be a launch for this patch, and they announced a whole bunch of things. We're going to go over those things that they mentioned, and I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that they didn't mention today as well. A lot of exciting things for Path of Champions players. So the first thing that Brian mentioned, like right off the bat, is constellations are coming next week. So this is amazing. We have had the hints from the constellations before. They're going to go up to Constellation 6, which is essentially Star Power 6. But they didn't mention very much else about it, about what that means or how you do it. Or the champions. So now we have a lot more information on that. It's going to be, for now, they're going to do the constellations for 19 of the existing champions, and then there's going to be one new champion that's dropping, and that one is going to also have this constellation pathway, and it is Viego. So how do you feel about Viego coming to Path of Champions, Sarah?
Okay, first of all, I didn't ask. Can I swear?
Yes, you can.
Okay, good.
I'm glad we have that ground rules down early. Clearly, you've never seen one of Cacti Mamba and I's podcasts before.
But I don't mind really. He's not a champion I'm a huge fan of overall, but I know a few Vigo mains who will be over the top.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can see like how in PvP it's a pretty toxic playstyle, honestly. But for PvE, it's going to be fun. I mean, realistically, the more toxic a champion is in PvP, the more fun they're going to be in PvE.
To be fair, in PvP he's not bad anymore.
Really? Because I thought people were still playing him with like Mordekaiser and Elder Dragon, and I mean that Mordekaiser.
He was at his peak toxic with Evelyn and Husks.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty bad too. Oh, hey Dan. I'm very excited about it. I think he's gonna have a playstyle that is gonna fit really well. It's gonna be very scalable just because his level up is so ridiculously powerful. I mean, killing champions or stealing followers every turn is always going to be relevant no matter what the difficulty of the adventure is. And it's going to be pretty fun too. I mean, stealing stuff is pretty fun.
Just wait for the true power.
Okay. Okay, so before we go into, actually, we are going to go into detail into Viego just because it's going to be representative of how these constellations are going to look. But before I go into that, there was a few other announcements Brian made earlier on. The first was there's going to be a bunch of new powers added to the game. I didn't mention anything about that or the rarities, but that'll be interesting. It's always fun to get new powers. The last few we've had, like, I feel like we're a bit of a mixed bunch. The Grander Plaza one, I love. That one is really fun. But then they introduced a few common ones that, I mean, they're okay. They're not too exciting. And then the other thing is there's going to be upgrades to collect. I don't even know what that means, but upgrades to collect. There's going to be a change in the economy. So for the constellations, they're going to have to figure
You know
something.
what it might be?
What's that?
Take an item or relic,
Oh,
but have the ability to add +1 or something.
yeah,
Maybe change its rarity.
yeah. That actually makes sense. Yeah, like item upgrades. Huh. That could be it. That could be it. I think the other possibility, but unlikely, would be relic upgrades. But no, that doesn't make sense because then they'd have to change the rarity and stuff like that. Yeah, no, item upgrade would be that would make sense. Yeah, thanks, Sarah.
It's very possible,
Yeah, yeah.
like from a Collecedon standpoint.
Yeah, and then so there's going to be
Imagine you have different tiers or upgrades to relics.
yeah, yeah. That one, I think that one will be harder to literally design and put into the
Like
game.
quick side track.
Yep.
Imagine the Gloom 1 rare relic.
Yeah.
Enough upgrade, it's like Gloom 3 but epic.
Actually, that would be really cool. That would make it a lot more fun. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to get excited for potentials, but that would be awesome if they did do that. Okay, and then so obviously with constellations, there has to be a way to unlock them. They didn't exactly say how they're gonna do this. They just said there's gonna be a change in the economy. Dan Felder is here. I would love to get answers from him, but I don't think he can give it to us. So I guess we'll find out next week. But they kind of did hint at it. We'll go through some of the slides where it's hinted a little bit. And then the last thing that he said before he went into Viego is new rewards all over the place. That is a direct quote. And this all over the place, what that means is new quests and quest lines and new adventure rewards. That is awesome because that's just going to accelerate people's ability to get wild fragments and relics and stuff, which is definitely what we need. Because, as Sarah very well knows, something exciting happened today too. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we got the button, Sarah. We got the button.
We do got the button.
And you know what that means.
An influx of confused players.
Exactly. Oh my god. It's like yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. So we're going to get an influx of new players who will know literally nothing about Runeterra or Path of Champions because apparently Riot didn't prioritize explaining anything. They just added the button. Oy, oy, oy.
We are going to have to rush hard to get all these new rewards and inform Aidon for guides in development.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I should mention this as a side note that Sarah is working on some new player guides that will be posted up onto Reddit in the future. So I'm trying to help out with that, and we've got a bunch of other really good Path players helping out with that as well. Although Sarah is really doing most of the work here, and that should help a lot of these new players that are coming. But I mean, if the button works and it actually does bring in new players, they are going to need these resources to, make heads and tails, because it is a bit confusing for new players at the moment.
I'm also working on an easy-to-share Google Doc version.
Nice. Perfect. I didn't even know that. Perfect. I can help you with that too. Just let me know. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So yeah. So button means we're getting new players. We're gonna get players starting from scratch. They're gonna have, literally starting from ground zero, no resources, and as you guys know, Path of Champions is a grind. You gotta really work for your resources and get your collection up. So,
This
new
is the
reward.
biggest concern I have.
Yeah, me too, actually. But I actually have good news for you that we will talk about later that you do not know yet. But I'll
Oh
talk.
good.
Yeah, there is some good news for new players.
Yet I'm going in blind.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mention this, but Sarah didn't actually watch the VOD, so she's gonna have a pretty genuine reaction here. So that'll be cool.
Okay, I did see like
You
one
did-
section where Brian called me out.
that's because I sent you that. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't call
Yep.
me out. Anyway, so new quests, new rewards that will help new players get some more resources here. Let's actually get into what they showed us for Viego, just because it's going to be a good frame of reference for what constellations are going to have. And
Okay, hold on.
yes, ma'am.
Did we get all the full powers?
For Viego, yes.
Okay, let me guess.
Okay, yeah. No, okay.
Is one of them he drops level 2?
Nope.
Damn it.
Any more guesses?
Okay, go gone. No.
No. They have a lot to do
Maybe
with.
a drain.
No, you're swing and a miss, Sarah. Swing
Man.
and a miss.
I'm so far off. Okay, one more.
Yep.
Is he gonna let me steal?
Nope.
I'm out.
Yeah, to be honest, this wasn't the exact thing I was expecting either, but I mean, it makes sense, and it does kind of relate to those things. So most of his star powers are basically going to empower his encroaching mists. So there's going to be a lot of star powers that give them more attack, and then there's even one that's going to give them challenger. And then when they die, obviously, especially if they have more attack and they die, they're going to be accelerating the Viego level up faster. But they're not directly associated with the Viego level up. They're like indirect. But I mean, it's going to give us a lot of board control because the deck is going to have like a lot of ways to make the mists, and then you're just going to get bigger and bigger mists.
I expected much more insane, but we'll see.
Okay. Oh, before we get into Viego, I forgot to mention. So, monthly challenge rewards are changing. I can't remember if for sure if he said that this is happening next month or not. I don't actually remember in the video him specifically saying if this is next month. But
Oh god, look at those wild fragments. Give them to me.
but he like this. So this is going to be the new layout when they do change it. There's a lot of cool information here. So the first thing that like immediately hits you is it's not every 10 wins anymore. It's every 5 wins you're getting a prize, which is really cool because some people were getting locked at like 27, 28, 29, and that kind of sucks to not hit the 10. The other thing too is there are things on here that we have never seen before, and Brian was not willing to talk about them. So
Yeah, this is new.
yeah, there's new stuff here. There's Silver Star Vessel, Gold Star Vessel, and Minor Gemstone Vessel. Brian specifically would not talk about these things yet.
I bet the vessels are upgrade things.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you'd think it has to have something to do with constellation upgrades. Like, I mean, what else could it be? But we don't know. This is brand new. We've never seen this before. The other thing that I really like is that they rejigged it. So as Sarah said, 10 wild fragments for 5 wins. That's a really low bar to clear. So that's basically 10 wild fragments free for pretty much anyone that has monthly challenges unlocked. I mean, 5 wins. You should be able to do that with pretty basic champions.
That's extremely good for anyone who wants to dip their toes in.
That was Brian's exact words too. He was like, I want a way to kind of bait these new players into at least trying monthly challenges, even if they're not going to progress very far, but just so that they have an idea of what it is, and then it might potentially generate interest in them trying to, progress and get the 70 wins later on as well. So I like that a lot. Like, just get them
Yeah, that's
introduced.
extremely important.
Yeah, get them introduced early so that, they get a taste of it, and then they'll want to try to grind for monthly completion at some point as well. Because right now, like, I definitely see people on Reddit and some of the boards that are just like, I can't even get into monthlies. Like, it's just too hard. It's not worth my time. I don't want to even try. And I feel kind of bad. Like, I mean, they're not even giving it a real chance because they don't really need to. And this will at least kind of get them introduced.
I think their bar of entry is hard too.
Yeah, it is. And then also they lowered the Cosmic Blessings to 10 wins. I think it used to be 40, which is actually really dumb because, again, like, that's something that is going to really accelerate progression for newer players. It's not even something that, like, older players even necessarily need all that much. So putting it down to 10 wins, that gives them a lot of motivation to at least try to get the 10 win mark.
This is the important thing. If you look at this, it looks like the early rewards are more new player progression based.
Exactly.
The top half is veteran heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm going to assume, like, the minor gemstone is going to be Constellations, which is going to be veteran. Exactly. The last thing to mention on this is the early and soul fragments are still here. So we are still getting ASOL for now. There's not going to be a new champion for unlocking in monthly challenges. I'm actually not that surprised about that. The only thing I'm a little bit surprised is the amount of ASOL fragments. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because the 4-star ASOL is still 100. So it's going to, what do we have here? 10, 10, 10, 20. So we have 50 per month. So getting ASOL 4-starred is actually still going to take quite a few months.
Do we know if a soul gets Constellation?
Good question. He did not answer that. I'm gonna guess no, even though it would, like, lore wise make a lot of sense. But I think they didn't want to do that because he was kind of mentioning that he wanted the constellations were more geared towards champs that newer players are going to have access to, and ASOL is like the opposite of new player access. So I don't know. He didn't mention it directly, but I feel like it's going to be maybe no, but I don't know. Okay. We can move on from this.
What's funny is Constellations might make his own challenge feel even more obsolete in the long term, which is his own power creating his downfall.
Yes, that is quite ironic. I mean, in fairness, ASOL's broken enough. We don't really need him to be more broken. Like, he's already broken. All right, you see this Viego here?
Yep.
It looks cool. It looks really fucking cool, honestly. I like the splash art. I like the design. And all the champions are going to look this cool as well. I think they showed us the MF one before. I couldn't find the slide of it, but anyway,
they did.
Yeah, that one looked really. I mean, they're all going to look really good.
It's in the main video.
Yeah, it's in the main video.
For the shift in focus.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. I don't know. I thought that would be a big deal for you because I know you like the art and the lore. Just not a fan of Viego.
I don't care about any of the other 18 champs getting a constellation. It's all in chips on the table for the queen.
Fair enough. Also, this is a very, like, side note thing, but it could be very relevant to you, Sarah. So Sarah has let's just say, favorite champions. And I can tell you that,
Yep.
yup. So this is, by the way, this is pure speculation. This is not anything confirmed. But what I can tell you is that Brian himself helped design the path star powers for Nidalee and Nico. And Brian also, yeah, and Brian also helped design a lot of constellations as well. So, Sarah, you might be getting more than just one of your favorite champions in constellations here.
So we need to sidetrack here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cause Brian also mentioned something else that's important to this system.
What's that?
Which is misfortune, and I think maybe another getting reworked powers to match constellations.
Yeah. So I was gonna mention that after, but yeah, I mean we can talk about that now for sure. So at near the end of the video, Brian mentioned, where did I write this? He mentioned when they made the champion constellations, they kind of went back and looked at the star powers 1 and 3, and they figured that, like, for some of them, the constellations didn't feel like a good progression of the star power 1 and 3. So they actually have gone back and changed some star power 1 and 3 for some of these champions that they're doing the constellations. And the one he mentioned was Misfortune. So it will be interesting to see what they do with her. I really do like her getting the monkeys. I think the monkeys are a unique play style. I think they're very solid, I find them fun as well. I do wonder if they're going to change her draw a card when you attack.
If they touch my monkeys, I'm rioting.
Yeah, same. Yeah. No, if they touch the monkeys, we'll get them.
This is important for a few reasons, though.
Mm-hmm. Do tell. He corrected himself, said MF.
The first is they are not afraid to rework underperforming champions for this new system.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh God. Should I just ban Dan?
Maybe ban Dan.
All right. If YouTube doesn't know, we're about to ban X Riot designer.
The second is they might hit overperforming champions, level their powers a bit with the new system too.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, yeah.
Which some may not be on board with immediately, but it could shake things up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would love to shake things up, and I mean, the designers know what they're doing. They can make the designs a lot more interesting as well, because some of them are very like linear and boring. I know a lot of people don't like Vi and Nar because the star powers are essentially impact, which is kind of boring and linear. So they might shake things up for sure. Okay, let's go back to Viego here. So this, it is really...
Oh, give me 5 seconds. I need to run and grab my food.
Okay. I will talk without you, by the way.
Stall.
Stall. All right. I shall stall. So Viego, it is really funny to look at this and see the 6 stars. I mean, it's just so jarring at first to see 6 stars on this screen. I mean, we don't have too much more information on this screen. I just kind of wanted to show the 6 stars here. Okay. I know Sarah said stall, but too bad. Too bad, so sad. Okay, star power 1 for Viego. Beyond the Mist. So each round, the first time you slay an ally, summon an encroaching mist. So this is slay an ally, right? Which is not the easiest thing to do, but I mean, it depends on the deck build. Clearly,
okay, back. That
was fast. You said a minute. That was like 10 seconds.
Yet I ran.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just talking about the first star power. So the Viego's first star power is each round, the first time you slay an ally, summon an encroaching mist. Again, this is going to depend on the deck build, but I'm pretty sure that obviously they're going to be putting in stuff that, like the dragon that strikes an ally, and they did actually confirm that it has that 1 mana spell that slays one of your allies and summons a mist. So there are going to be ways to access this. This is going to be fun because it's going to just help you level the Viego faster on the turn you drop him, because Viego is a expensive champ. Like, he's a 6 mana champ, so. In Path of Champions, that can be a death sentence, being 6 mana and then having to do the progression on the level up because he has to see the allies die. So now you could drop the Viego, maybe bank a mana, start killing your own stuff, and get him leveled a little bit faster. So it's not the most impressive star power one, but I mean, you'll see how it integrates with the further star powers here. So the star power 2, so obviously you get the extra mana, but when an ally 4 power or more dies, we get a mana discount. So all the 4 power allies in our hand are reduced. And keep in mind, like, these encroaching mists are going to hit 4 pretty quickly as well. So this is pretty significant. And not only
Dude
that,
Dan is spitting fire to try to bait me.
All right. Are you a mod? No, you're not a mod. I was gonna say just ban him. No, I can't give you that power.
No, don't.
Okay. So, like, I mean, you're gonna get allies with 4 or more power before Viego comes down. So this is gonna discount the Viego somewhat as well. Yeah, I think somebody in the chat.
Are just cloud drakes. Oh no.
Yep, that's correct. Someone in chat said this is kind of like a little bit like the Thresh, where Thresh is getting discounted while he's in hand too. So, and that feels really good. That Thresh, the Thresh buff feels really good. So I feel like this is going to feel pretty good for getting down Viego faster. But also, there's probably going to be like the invasive Hydra Vines and stuff like that. That'll be fun to get down earlier too. And then the Star Power 3 is not so now it's not just if you slay an ally, but if you slay enemies too, you're getting encroaching mists. So this is where it gets like silly. This is where it's like, okay, we're getting mists everywhere. And
I mean, it's real harrowing.
It's going to be a lot of mists. There's going to be a lot of encroaching mists. And keep in mind, they grow your Viego too. I always forget that, but they grow themselves, but they also grow the Viego too. So those are the first 3 star powers. And Brian did say in the video that the first 3 star powers are going to be purely linear, exactly the same as, you know, the system we have right now. So you just go from 1 to 2 to 3. But after...
So hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Is this transitioning?
Yeah.
Like, are these new on top of 6 base? Or are most like? Say I have 3 misfortune.
Uh-huh.
Is she 3 in constellation on drop?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. You're not losing any progression or anything like that. Yep. Okay. So the first 3 are going to be pretty linear, and then after that, there's going to be kind of choices. Like, I'm not exactly sure if it's branching or webs or how exactly it works, but there are choices after the first 3, so you do have a little bit of agency in how you want to build your constellations, and you will always be able to unlock everything. Like, it's not like you choose one path and then you can't choose the other path. Like, you can always unlock everything. So yeah, so this is the next one. Pretty straightforward, plus 8 regen. So the regen is literally the heal in between rounds. It is interesting that 8 is a lot, by the way. Like, 8 is like... That's like as much as a healer with like an unpaid healer. That's a lot.
So some of these won't matter on the monthly system.
That's correct. Yes, some of these won't do anything for monthlies. That is correct.
But this helps him walk through the Fruljord.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm assuming that this stacks with like the stuff that's in the level up progression system anyways, because you normally have 4 regen once you're leveled high enough. So I mean, if that's the case and you're healing for 12, like that's insane. But I don't know. He didn't actually mention that. I don't know if it's just 8 total. It might be 8 total. Anyway, it's a lot. And then this one's the one that's really cool. I like this a lot. This was actually something I kind of suggested to Riot like a long time ago. So one of the things that I found with support champs is they feel really bad when you draw them because you want to draw your main champ.
Exact.
Yeah, the support champs don't scale like anywhere to the same degree as your main champ. And then Constellations is going to just exaggerate that because your main champ just becomes even more and more important, and the support champ just becomes more and more a dead draw. So I had mentioned that actually to Riot before that they needed to kind of buff the support champs, and especially the high cost ones. So you can see here it says support champs have studded leather, phage, or Titan's axe based on their cost. So literally, the more expensive that support champ is, the better the item they will get when you pick it. Brian couldn't remember the breakpoints off the top of his head, but I love this. I love this a lot.
This alone is interesting, but it'll be a bit frustrating to consider in the decision making unless it visually shows in the bucket.
I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will just show it in the bucket. I don't have the confirmation on that, but I'm pretty sure it does. So yeah, like +1, +2, +3. That's a lot of stats. Like Titan's axe. I don't know what the breakpoint is going to be for Titan's axe, but I mean +3, +3 on something is a lot. This is a big deal. Like this is going to make adventures and monthlies a lot more interesting to try to pick these high cost champions.
Yeah.
Love it. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Sarah.
It's hard to say. I think it depends on play style.
Of course, yeah. Of course. Because there's going to be some champions that are always going to want to be very aggressive and take other supports that are low cost as well, and you're kind of going to ignore this. But it gives you some motivation to try to go with some high costs for some builds as well.
Like for instance, I don't think a lot of these matter a lot for Vigo, but it gives them a bit of help.
I think it does actually, to be honest.
But if they are catered to playstyles, it'll be a nice addition.
No, I disagree with you, Sarah. I think this actually helps Viego a lot because remember, like this 4 power like buff, like, everything gets discounted, so it's gonna actually get more champions into that 4 range.
Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking like studded leather on, say, Seraphine.
Yeah, no, I know, but
where it won't actually make a diff, it's very situational.
yes, definitely. But a studded leather on Riven would make
I do agree for certain picks it's good.
Yeah, like a studded leather on Riven would make a big deal, I think. It would make a big difference, but I don't know. Anyway, I love this idea, by the way. I think this is something that is going to be a great upgrade to the game in general.
That's what I was leaning into, though. Them catering to play styles is good.
Can somebody... I need to mod somebody. Somebody needs to ban Dan. Like, stop it, Dan. Stop. All right. Next.
Get told, Dan.
Shape of Fear is going to get Stopwatch. So Stopwatch is make a spell burst speed. And so yeah, so that was the name of the spell I was trying to think of. So kill an ally to summon the mist. The mists are going to get stronger. You can use this to... You want to use this after you drop the Viego, so you can turbo level him as well. This is going to be really crazy, by the way. This is going to be so good. I'm really happy that they're adding Stopwatch to stuff as well, because it's nice to just have burst speed against the AI. I mean, like, you can't do that really for PvP, and then we can do this here.
I'm just thinking like Vigo Mord for the discounts and burst speed slay combos.
Yeah, Mord is already insane with Viego, so yep. Indeed. And then this one is right. So I like this as well. So very similar to how the supports kind of drop off and don't scale as well, is just picking up cards in general doesn't feel as good the more powerful you are, because you're just going to try to build around your champion. So they're going to be doing something like this for pretty much all the constellations. I don't know if it's going to be the region. Probably it is going to be the region of the champion is my guess. But they're going to give like a upgrade to everything that you can pick up, probably in that region. And I think all the champions are getting something like this. So this is awesome. And pickaxe is like the perfect thing, right? Because of this. So if everything is getting pickaxe, I mean, pretty much everything is going to have at least 4 power, which is kind of insane. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it will, because it says followers you acquire. So I don't think you can go back to apply it to the encroaching mist, unless you pick up the mists in the future. I don't know, but I mean,
So this is the 6th star.
no, no. These are like extra bonuses that you get. They didn't clarify this really well. I'll show you what they meant by like 4-star, 5th-star, and 6-star. But these are like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's like a lot of upgrades. It's not just literally 6 stars. It's literally
Smaller stars in our constellation.
yes. That's what we're looking at. Correct. Exactly. It's the small stars. It's not the big stars. Yeah, it's a bit hard to
Okay,
explain.
I was gonna say.
So here's star power
Feels
4.
underwhelming.
Yeah, so here's star power 4. Okay, so this is the 4th star, and this is freaking incredible. Like, you just get another mana gem. So yeah,
Oh, okay, here we go.
yeah, here we go. Exactly, here we go. Insane. I mean, we get this at star power 2, and now we're getting this at star power 4 as well. We're starting the game on a lot of mana now. It's 3 mana to start the game. We're starting to get to like Asol and Lissandra territory here. Stop typing in chat and start typing in TTS. Come on.
Okay.
So just to clarify, this is going to be across the board. Every single champion star power 4 is going to be mana flow. I'm pretty sure is what he said. This is not Viego specific.
Oh, so that's all we get on 4.
I believe so. I believe everybody gets this on 4. Yes. Mana flow
The
means
soul disagrees.
mana flow means turn 1 Vayne MF. It's a huge upgrade. It's huge. Yeah, it's a lot of champions coming down on turn 1. It's a lot just more action on turn 1.
Yet it's really good.
Yeah. All right, next.
My soul den. My arm, my leg.
Sarah is answering Dan's question of how much do you think these will cost. Well, we will find out soon enough because we actually don't have the information on that just yet. This one is one of the small stars, and I should have clarified that before. So those other ones were all the small stars. That was the first like star power 4. So another small star support cards get an additional item. This is not small, by the way. So as
Wait.
you're, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, all 3 of them, by the way. Exactly. Holy crap. So, people, Sarah trading her leg is to be a true pirate.
Hell yeah.
This if when you're leveling up your champion, I personally find that the level 17 upgrade, which is supports get items, is probably one of the biggest upgrades, as well as level 20 getting the champion in hand. But level 17 supports getting the item is a humongous upgrade. This is it. This is just another one of those. I don't know if the support items are going to reflect the rarity bonuses of your champion level already. I assume so. So, I mean, this is going to be nuts. Okay. This is another one of the small stars. Just a little bit of extra bonus roll, 5% for epics and 1% for legends. I love it. It's going to feel pretty good. And again, this is just one of the smaller stars.
Adding to my 100% chance of finding one somehow but never the one I want.
I mean, that's just a skill issue. Get good. Okay, so this one is...
Wait, this next one confuses me.
Yeah, this one is really cool, by the way. So, plus 100% XP for Shadow Isles champions. It is what you think it is. If you're thinking...
Just all, like, does this go across the board? If I play Thresh without him, I get it.
Yep. And also all future Shadow Isles champions that will be released, you'll basically just have double XP when you play them. So yeah.
Holy shit. Finally a reason to actually level something.
Yeah. So this is something that I believe all the champions also have, but I assume it would maybe not all of them, but I assume obviously that they would be region specific for the champion as well. This is insane, by the way. Like, if you like, they really are going to help progress these new players leveling up, and I mean, it basically, I feel like it kind of forces new players into going into like these champions with constellations to open up first. But as I said earlier, they are adding the constellations to champions that new players are using anyways, so that shouldn't be too awkward. Yeah, this is crazy. This is actually insane. This is going to make...
good for everyone since leveling is extremely tedious when you've hit your end game power spike and don't really want to start from bare bones again.
Exactly. And then Brian was also saying that like they understand that when like even for like the veteran players that when they unlock a new champion, it's really boring to go through the initial level ups, and they were like, yeah, this is just going to help those players as well.
It's not fun.
Yeah, just because we've been through it so many times with the other champions, so it's just going to help us get through this. Yeah, this is insane. Yeah, and I'm really excited about this one. I mean, even though I don't really need it for myself, but I'm just excited for new players because that's a big thing that a lot of people complain about.
Now can we stack it?
So he didn't say. I'm gonna assume that only like one champion probably has this for each region is my assumption. But if you're talking about stacking it with blessings, like cosmic blessings, yeah.
Cause if so, my bilge water is going to be GOAT for leveling.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this will stack with cosmic blessings, but I don't know if there's going to be like multiple champions that you can stack for 200%. That I don't know. All right, we're way too excited about this one. Let's go. So +4 regen for Shadow Isle champions. I can't remember if he said. I mean, it looks like it should also be across the board because it's literally the same wording as this.
Yet I assume if it says for X region.
Yeah, because I mean, like, yeah, it's literally the same wording. So yeah, again, it's just going to be across the board. Should be really good. Not too much more to say about this one, but I like it. Okay, so then I think he said this is Star Power 5 or the pre-Star Power 5. I can't remember now. But every champion at Star Power 5 or right before Star Power 5 is literally just going to get a power that's in the game. So this is literally going to just be one of the powers that's in the game, and it's going to be a power that specifically works well with that champion. So, for example, Viego gets Crush. Crush is...
I expected this one for Viego.
Yeah. I mean, with all the attack buffs and the stat buffs, it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so basically, he said that it's going to be a power that's already in the pool. It's not going to be something specific to the champion or anything like that, but it's something that you would want to get naturally. So they're basically just going to give it to you, and you'll always have it. Pretty cool. And then what do we got next?
That's a huge change, Dan, because it's incentive to care about other champs.
Yeah, yeah. With the we're talking about the roster wide buffs. Yeah. I think this is actually Star Power 5, now that I'm thinking about it. So you basically are just getting a power to start the run that you would want anyways. And this is like just in addition to everything else. And then this one, I believe, is not like the full star power. This is kind of like a mini constellation. I mean,
That's Challenger, right?
It is. For Viego, this is insane. So we've got mists. We've got mists growing quickly. We've got mists that are going to be discounting your hand when they're dying. And now we're giving the mists Challenger.
And Overwhelm.
And Overwhelm. And Overwhelm. I mean,
it's a huge finisher.
Yeah. 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 This is going to feel really good.
You know who beats it?
Who?
Fucking Targon Ezreal.
Yeah, let's not talk about Targon Ezreal on this stream. All right, and then let's go over to Star Power 6. So the Star Power 6. Oh, looks pretty good.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
This is so ridiculous. This is like ASOL levels of nonsense.
I mean, all will serve.
So yeah, in case you guys forgot, the Star Power 3 is basically letting you summon mists twice per turn as long as you can kill one of your things and one of their things. And this is allies everywhere.
Some in the business refer to this as pretty okay.
Yeah, it is pretty okay. Yeah, +2/+0 every turn. Yeah, that's pretty okay. So I think this kind of gives us a taste that Star Power 6 for our champions are going to be just like completely over the top.
Funny enough. It still doesn't feel like it compares to 4-star Assault.
I know. Actually, I didn't even want to say that, but it is. You're kind of right.
Which is good.
Which is good. I mean, ASOL is insane. Yeah, I mean, doubling stats is still better than +2 a turn, but it's pretty freaking good.
I was afraid power level would scale that high for no reason.
Yeah, I know some people were worried about that. I mean, I feel like they can't do that. They would just like make everything meaningless if they did that for everyone. But I mean, this is really powerful. It's not quite ASOL.
They need better, more powerful content to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't know if is in the works. I don't know of anything. I know they worked pretty hard for Lissandra map, so I don't know if what's going to be next. Actually, Brian did mention that they were really worried about introducing the Lissandra map before Constellations because they knew how hard Lissandra was, and they knew people would be frustrated with the champions that we currently have. But they don't regret it. They're happy that they did make it because they know people wanted a challenge, and they were actually like surprised at how well people were able to beat Lissandra with so many different champions. Actually,
never forget one single brave legendary soul out there has beaten Lissandra with 0-star Vex.
I mean, that's just crazy. Yeah, somebody has beaten Lissandra with a 0-star Vex. I don't know who.
This was confirmed by Brian.
Yeah, he posted this on Twitter. But
and it's only one person.
Is it you?
Hell no. I don't even have her unlocked.
Well, if you do, you better not star her up because you need to beat Lissandra on 0. Actually, we can talk about Lissandra next, because the last time I did the podcast, we were talking about the release of Lissandra. It wasn't even out yet. So I'll ask you actually, because I'm very curious to hear about your experience. How do you find the Lissandra adventure? What are your thoughts on it? What do you like? What do you not like?
Oh god.
You weren't expecting me to ask you the hard
So as a
questions?
misfortune main fuck that one power.
Which one?
I forget the exact wording.
The
But when they take damage, they
Yeah.
grow bigger.
Yeah. So they get +2/+2. It's called I Am Inevitable. Yeah. Um, you've beaten
Yeah,
it
that's
with
the one.
Yeah, you've beaten it with 5 champions or any other ones or
I did 5.
okay. Would you be interested in doing more or are you like done with it for now?
Hard to say.
I mean, I think with
I cheated the
constellations.
first run and did Orlion.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, with
Actually, who else did I do?
I know you did MF with a crazy monkey build because we needed to mention that for all the monkey haters in chat.
There was monkeys.
It was big
There
monkeys.
was Nico.
Oh, you did it with Nico. That's fun.
We casinoed her.
Oh.
Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana is really strong against Lissandra. Who else did you do it with?
Nidalee, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense because I mean, those are literally your favorite champions: Nidalee, Nico, Misfortune. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And Lux probably.
Maybe, I don't know. No. We said 5: Nidalee, Nico, Misfortune, Early in Soul, Morgana. That's 5.
Okay, yeah, no, it wasn't Lux.
Yeah.
I was considering her.
So, do you know how many champions I've beaten Lissandra with?
More than I want to count.
Yeah, it's all of them. Well, that's not true actually, because I haven't done the new ones yet. But all the ones before Vex, Lux.
Did you do 0-star Vex?
I did not. Actually, I haven't even beaten it with Vex yet because I need to.
Do you own 0-star Vex?
I don't actually. They're all 3-starred now. Too late.
You failed.
Indeed. I will never earn your respect ever. Yeah, I did it with the other champions. I wanted to do it with all champions just to get a feel of the experience because okay. So the positives and the negatives of the Lissandra map. Positives, very difficult throughout the entire map. Like for Aurelian Soul, I feel like the difficulty is only in the Aurelian Soul fight and maybe a specific fight when there's like a crazy matchup of mutators for a specific champion, for example, like Zed Duplicate. But for the most part, all the challenge is in the Aurelian Soul fight. That is not the case for Lissandra. I have lost on the first fight so many times on Lissandra, like so many times on the first fight. It's kind of insane. So I do like that. I do like that every match counts. Every match is difficult. Other things I like about it is
I think it was Omenhawk who gate-kept one of my champs.
Yeah, no, I mean, Omenhawk can literally gatekeep champs because the power is +20 attack to the card they draw, and they only have units, so they always are going to have a unit with +20 every turn. And if they just overrun you with units, you're dead. You're just dead. Yep. So there's some champions that have a lot of difficulty with Omenhawk.
A bird after my heart spells are optional.
um, what was I saying? You made me lose my train of. Oh yes. The thing that I like about it, but I know a lot of people do not like about it, but I like about it is that you are severely restricted in how much you can upgrade your champion, your deck, your powers. So there's a few differences on the Lissandra map. Oh, I want to open. No, I don't want to. No, okay, we won't flashbang everyone, but I do have a Lissandra guide. I'll put that as a link here. But I do have a Lissandra guide that lists all the changes for the Lissandra map compared to the normal maps. So, like for example, one of the things is after you beat the mini bosses, you don't get a champion item. You get less powers as well. So you are a bit gimped. You are actually not getting as much stuff as you normally get. You get less gold on the Lissandra map as well. And you know, with those restrictions and the increased difficulty, it just amplifies the difficulty as well. But I know a lot of people don't like that because a lot of people want to play this high power fantasy where you just have so many broken powers that you can make these broken combos and interactions. So I know that's not what everybody likes. I'm pretty sure I know what you like. You like broken shit. You like broken monkeys.
Only monkeys.
Only monkeys. Fair
I like
enough.
janky builds.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's easier to make janky builds when you have more options, more powers, more.
Like the full build misfortune.
Yeah. Yep.
I think you ran that right.
Oh, I did. Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I see people in
I saw
chat.
you on the verge of giving up at one point, then I think you won.
That happened many times, by the way. There's definitely times where I was like, this run's done, and then pulled it out in the last second. So chat's saying that they don't like that because it feels less replayable when there's less options. I can see that, honestly. Like, it does feel less replayable. Yes, I definitely do see that as well. Other things that I liked about Lissandra is, let me think. The map. So the map has a lot of pathing and options. Now, the only thing is, there are some optimal pathings that people are starting to realize to min-max.
Mind meld.
Exactly. So there's basically three paths. There's a top path, a middle path, and a bottom path. Bottom path will get you an extra power. The top path gets you into ethereal remitter, and then the middle path gets you into mind meld. But it is possible to go through ethereal remitter and then mind meld, and that does seem to be the optimal path for most champions, which does kind of also decrease replayability a little bit as well. But I mean, it is still cool that there's so many different paths to take, and they really do kind of change your build and how you're building.
Should just be an avalanche at the start and move those as well.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Or just like randomize it a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to criticize that too much, but I kind of like the fact that the map is really big and has a lot of options. Much bigger than any of the previous maps we've had. And then let's talk about the negatives too. So there are some negatives for sure. So the thing with the Lissandra map is every fight will have one of 5 randomly assigned powers on top of the fight powers. And because of that, there are some combinations of the random power plus the fight power that are just ridiculous. Like, I mean, we're talking about Omen Hawk, for example. So there's one of the random powers is literally the first unit they summon has double stats and fearsome. So Omen Hawk can literally just summon a 40 attack unit with fearsome.
That's the gatekeep.
Yeah, 40 attack unit with fearsome on turn 1. And if you don't have a fearsome blocker on turn 1, you lost the game on turn 1. That does not feel good. I don't like that.
That ended many runs.
Yeah, I don't really like that. That there's a little bit of too much synergy between some specific random powers and the assigned powers, but and I think they I mean, I'd love to see them rejig it a little bit and rebalance it a little bit so that it doesn't get too silly, but yeah, it does feel bad sometimes. Anything to say about that?
Just make it like a 1% chance for it to happen so you know you were fated to lose.
But then I can just argue it's a skill issue at that point.
Yes. Just roll better.
Exactly. Exactly. Um and then the same thing happens with the Lissandra fight too, where, like, for example, like Sarah was saying, the I am inevitable power, which whenever they take damage, if they have tough, they get +2/+2. It, you know, with a triple casted ice shards, it can feel really dumb at times where there's really nothing you can do about it, and you lose because she had I am inevitable, and that feels pretty bad too. The other thing that is like along the same lines is um, there are some champions that just feel really bad on this map. Um, One of them, actually, the one we were talking about earlier, is actually Misfortune, because Misfortune likes to do these kind of small pings. You know, has a lot of these smaller units with like the monkeys and stuff like that. And sometimes you get really punished on this map because they'll have really large overwhelm units, or they'll have the I am inevitable power, and it can really make some champions feel awful, like just awful to play on this map. So I'm actually pretty proud of you to tough it out with MF.
See, I fixed this by making my monkeys spawn at like 10:10.
Yeah, I mean, that's really smart. That is really smart. Yeah, if you can, sometimes building up the stats is really important for this map. So
It was also pure RNG and a throwaway run.
um, I'll say skill. I'll say you're good at the game. Huge monkey.
You'd be
Yeah.
lying, but I'll take it.
um yeah, so that was kind of my feel bad moments. Is there are certain combinations of the powers where, like, it just feels like you're so gimped that there's nothing you can do. And then the second thing is, because I've been able to go through it with all the champions, I would say like about half the champion, like, so about a quarter of the champions feel pretty good. About a quarter of the champions feel disgustingly terrible, and then about half of them are just really tough but reasonable, I guess you could say. And by reasonable, I mean like maybe a 50% success rate, which is a lot lower than the ASOL map for sure. Okay, there is just the last part that Brian had mentioned afterwards as well. So one of the things we mentioned already is that when they made the champion constellations, they did go back and retweak some of the star power 1 and 3s. MF is the one he mentioned, but
Yeah.
there's going to be some other ones as well. We're really excited about that. That'll be really fun. The other thing
Did
too.
he give a number on that?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He was like really nervous about talking about it, so he didn't, because he couldn't remember for sure. so, so he didn't actually like mention it. One of the questions given to Brian was, are we going to be able to open these new resources with like our current progression stuff? So for example, like weekly vaults right now contribute nothing to path. They only unlock cards. So people were asking, you know, will that contribute in any way to path, or maybe even be connected to constellations? So he said no. The new resources will basically have new ways to obtain them. So basically probably new currencies or new ways to progress them. So it's not going to be tied to the stuff that we already have. But one thing that he did say was, because the weekly vaults kind of feel really bad right now if you're just a path exclusive player. And so what they're going to do is, in addition to weekly vaults, they're going to add daily quests that also give you bronze vaults. So vaults for path stuff. And that's really good for new players.
More Stardust.
More relics, more fragments, more Stardust. This is a big deal. Like, I mean, right now all we're getting is 5 wild fragments per day, so that's probably going to be like close to doubling that essentially. I know you were saying that.
I agree as well on keeping vaults PvP, as Gian said.
Yeah.
But it is funny to me for a simple reason.
Why is that? Don't leave me hanging, Sarah. What's
The
the
patch
reason?
notes for League call us a single player game, and this is going to confuse the hell out of people.
Yeah. Yeah. The button. Just my answer for everything is the button.
The button.
The button. Okay. The other thing that I had mentioned earlier that I said was going to excite you is that to help out new players, because the button is going to bring new players and it's going to be exciting and it's going to save lore. Lore is saved. So the button's going to bring new players and they're going to introduce new bundles. Frickin' finally! Been asking this forever that they add new player bundles, and
A week after people click the button.
exactly. So I mean, at least they're doing good timing for this. And that might be why the button was delayed a little bit too, is so that they actually have these bundles in place. So Brian mentioned 2 bundles, but then he said there's going to be, quote, a bunch more after that. But the 2 new bundles are going to be a $5 welcome bundle, which I think he said is going to have approximately 60 fragments worth of stuff for $5. That's freaking amazing. I think, what does $5 get you from the Emporium? I want to say it's like 10.
Nothing.
No. You can buy fragments. I haven't seen it in the shop for a long time, but I believe it $5 is like 10-ish.
I was thinking cosmetics, yeah, fragments.
Yeah. So this is going to be a really good value, and Brian did confirm that the welcome bundle is permanent, so it's not going to be limited time. I'm assuming obviously it's going to be you can only buy it once, but $5 for 60 fragments, that's going to get people accelerated a lot faster
I
for
wonder
their
if
champs.
it's wild or chosen static champs.
He didn't answer that, and I actually was wondering that too. He didn't answer that, but yeah, because I'm thinking it might be specific champions, because it doesn't make sense if it was random champions that will get scattered around 60 champs. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be set champions that you get the fragments for.
Wild would be great for people who main champs, but
No,
if it's forced, I don't think it's as great.
It's not wild frags. I know that. He said it was champion frags, not wild frags.
That's gonna be less great.
No, it's not that bad though, Sarah, because I think it's going to be fragments for the champions that have those the adventures that unlock the relics. So basically like the
Think
first.
about it this way though.
Okay.
I'm a League player, okay.
I know what you're going to say. Yep, continue.
I main say I don't know, Vigo.
Yeah. I know what
I
you're going
only
to say.
play Vigo.
Yeah. Well,
I join Runeterra.
Yeah.
I learn I need to grind a week to unlock him.
Mm-hmm.
Or 20 days to 3-star.
Yeah.
I hit the X button.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, because people want to play specific champions.
It's not ideal in that aspect.
I know. You're right. You are right. Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know what to tell you. But this is how they're doing it. And then the other bundle that they mentioned is going to be a $20 launch bundle. And then they said this one is basically, I think this one is going to be more of what you wanted. So he basically said it's going to give you a head start on your collection. He really didn't go into specifics. A head start on your collection, and it will include something with the Constellation currency so that at least some of the veteran players will want to buy into this as well. So I think this one probably will have wild fragments, but he didn't really say. I don't know. But so those are going to be the
It is
two.
0, but it's also deceptively difficult for new players who don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's going to be 2 bundles that are coming. I'm pretty sure these are coming out next week as well. I don't remember for sure if he said that, but I'm pretty sure they do come out next week. So it's going to be a $5 bundle and a $20 bundle. He also did say that they're going to be looking at bundles of varying price points. Sonny was in the chat and he's like, yes, we want the whale bundle. So we'll see what those varying price points are. Actually, I think in TFT they have like some really expensive stuff that you can buy. If I'm not mistaken, they really feed the whales there.
I hope we don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, if it's something,
it's all gotcha over there.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is if they make an expensive bundle, I think it's fine to make an expensive bundle, but then you just have to make it wild fragments so that you're getting what you want. Like that would be fine.
You have to like spend $500 to guarantee the low odds item.
Damn. Yeah, no, I wouldn't like. Yeah, if it's like that, no, I don't want it to be gotcha. I definitely don't want it to be gotcha. But if they did a bundle where it's like we're gonna give you a bunch of wild fragments, we're gonna give you a bunch of stardust, and then just buy what you want, get what you want, that would be fine. I'd be really happy with that. But yeah, maybe that's
When TFT was told to make money, they said okay, Papa, right, and went gotcha. Runeterra said no thanks, Chief, we'll keep truckin'.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, maybe gotcha is how they make money. I don't know. But I am worried, like you said, that if they do that, I don't think people will buy into it as much in Runeterra as they do in TFT. I don't know why. I just feel like TFT is a little bit more whale friendly for some reason.
It's more engaging and the content is easier to show off.
I think that's what it is. No, you're right. It's easier to show off.
It's less practical in this genre.
You're absolutely correct. Damn it. You are smart. You're a smart girl. You're right. It's easier to show off, so then people will want it more. Yeah, you're 100% right. Especially for PvE. It's like, who the hell is going to see this other than you? Like, you're so right. Well, I guess me, because I stream, and I still don't buy the frickin' cosmetics. Because I don't know anything about the lore, so they mean nothing to me.
Yet I'm the opposite, I own too much.
Exactly.
I can't even use all of mine.
Well, thank you for supporting the game, because you're the one that's saving it right now.
I'm doing it on their dime.
That's hey, you're not supposed to say that publicly.
LOL.
Shush. Nope, Sarah is buying lots of stuff and it's all from her pocket.
Christmas came.
Yeah, the only other things were just a few small questions he answered. So one of the questions asked to Brian was, for the gold reliquaries, will there be a change in the cooldown timer? So right now in the Emporium is the only way, well, not the only way, but pretty much the only way to get gold reliquaries. And the cooldown timer is disgusting. I think it's like 3 or 4 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's 4 weeks, actually. And it sucks because people are like stacking Stardust and they can't buy the gold reliquaries. Speaking of which, I think Sarah has like 10,000 Stardust right now.
I won't go under it.
I don't understand that, but you know what? I'm just not going to ask. Just
that way if something happens I have it.
The 10,000 purchase? I don't think that's happening, Sarah.
It's like how I won't go under 10k riot coins.
That's a lot, too. Jeez.
I also wouldn't go under 100k shards, but now I'm around 1 mil.
Yeah, me too. I think I have a mill. So
I hoard
useless.
resources as a just in case.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do that too, actually. But at the same time, I really do want these gold reliquaries for, especially for monthlies. They're pretty fun. But yeah, no, Riot is not going to change this, and the reason for that is because I think they just don't want to make that many epic relics that quickly. So, yeah, they're not changing it. The gold reliquaries are going to be pretty much as slow as ever. Which, I mean, it might be good for monetization because now they actually are trying to sell more of the epic relics in the shop. So, I mean, it will.
We gonna have a lot more Stardust Dragons.
Yeah, and that's actually going to connect into the next point. So because then the counter question to that when he said that was, so what are we supposed to do with all this Stardust? And then he said that in the Emporium they're going to add a new node. So there's going to be a daily node to upgrade constellations using Stardust. So that we will actually have an output for this excess Stardust, the 10k that Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry, is that 10k I'm banking paying off?
This 10k that Sarah has, she's gonna be able to like 6-star everyone on day one now. Well, not day one, but maybe week one.
Drop it all into fortune.
Yep. Yeah, I can't wait to see the day one 6-star misfortune stream. So yeah, I think that actually covers all our topics. Once again, a big thank you to Sarah. Thanks for joining me today.
No problem.
And yeah, you can catch Sarah. She does some Path content on Twitch, and then she does some PvP there as well. And I need to do more Path too. I'm so far behind. I still need to do my Lissandra runs with Vex, Lux, and Lilia. So I'll try to do those in the next week.